Thursday Thoughts and Arty Fun. This is P over here.
M over there.
Patricia.
Mariah.
And together
We are PM Artist Studio.
Hello to everyone. If you are here and in the chat, say hello. Otherwise, we do not know that you're here. You can be just a number. We're totally fine with that. Give those thumbsy upsies if you know that you're gonna like this, or you just you know us, you love us, you support us. That's the easiest way to do it. And to subscribe to the channel because it's free. It is 100%.
100%.
We are not charging for that.
Haven't started, but
no.
you know.
That's right. All right, well, let's say hello to all these lovely people here in the chat saying hello back. Participants. I did it a little different today. I don't know. I'm trying different things, y'all. Just trying to, keep it fresh. Apple's here. Art Curious. That's Miriam. Becky. Belinda. Betsy. Candy. Carrie. Christy. Colleen. Darcy. Dana. Devin. Eddie. Ellen. Estella. Griffin Show. That's Rhonda. Jeanette, a.k.a. Janet. Lyra. Lisa. Lori. Mary. Patricia. Panka, Rennie, Ricky, Nordmeyer is here. Oh, hold on. Something moved on me there. Let's see. Rennie, Ricky, SAG, that's Sarah. Silver Granny, that's Linda. Lynn. Star Traveler, that's Linda. Sue Davis, Susan Billiou, Tracy LeBouf, Violet is here. And some other people have been popping in there. Jolly John. Maybe leave some
Belinda. Did you say Belinda?
I think I might have said Belinda, but all right. If I missed you, it was not on purpose. Simply give me a little hello, especially like with the pink little wavy hand. Like that one a lot. I do. Isabel, hello.
Lynn.
All right. So, we going topside for Thursday Thoughts or just,
Well, we're going to go back and forth because I have some things, that I kind of want to...
a little show and tell.
Yeah, because I should.
A show and thought.
Yeah.
A thought and show.
These came, I think they came the same day. What is today? Thursday? So I think they came Tuesday afternoon.
Well,
late.
Yeah. Usually our mail comes kind of later, and if we're already streaming, then we definitely don't get it until
we don't get
later.
it.
Yeah.
So it did arrive either, and I know it didn't come yesterday because I opened up the package. So it was either Monday or Tuesday, late Monday or Tuesday. And this is from
Wendy.
Carla Grayson, my partner. I mean my swap partner. And it was she calls it the geometric. So it was part of our geometric push things.
I can't remember which month
And
that was.
I mean, aren't they adorable?
Oh, here, let me go top side.
I love the paper punch thing because I have an original stencil that I did way back when I was still using file folders that I did this with, and I just kind of chuckled. Plus, I love, of course, the purple and yellow.
Yes.
This is such a brilliant little move right there. I love that.
Well, that I think it's the rivets, rusty rivets.
Yeah.
Started out as a hole punched.
It was a hole puncher. Yeah, for sure. And then a little bit of a pie-shaped piece of a doily with kind of, cool little things on it. And I'll probably
Thank you, Isabel.
Go ahead and put some stiffener stuff on that so I can use it over and over again. And this wonderful little piece of fabric here. I mean, isn't this wonderful?
That's a nifty little piece of fabric for sure.
Yeah. And then you are simply amazing. I had to share that.
It was funny, Van, when he brought the mail in. He's like, look at what it says on the outside.
Thank you, Carla. All right. I'm going to hand the ATCs to Mariah, and she can add them to our book, our ever-growing book.
I know. I had to expand our stuff out. I finally put ours into one, and then all the lovely ones that we've been getting from people in another.
Yeah.
I do love that.
All right, now you can go back to the face thing.
Okay, side by side.
I don't want to get people.
I could just go pecan.
Knocking stuff over here.
No. Oh.
Okay, So, what prompted this? Well, I had this article. And I'll read you the article. But while I'm reading the article, this is what the question I think you should be asking yourself. What kind of intelligence do we recognize and reward in our society? Because that's basically kind of what it boils down to. And, you know, I know some of it is quantifiable. You can tell me why it is. Somebody's smart.
Shoot. 1 second before we get real deep into things.
Okay.
Because Devin just, she just was chatting about Miriam's thing. And dang it, I meant to put it up on the screen. I might still be able to do that here in the background. I don't know. See, when I do things on the fly, it makes me real nervous.
Yeah, like the last...
That was not my fault. Well, I mean, okay. Here's the thing. The technical difficulties definitely were not anything within my, you know...
purview.
Right. But I did some things, and I don't understand why. I'm just... I don't know. It's like right at your head, but then... I don't know why we're so close. There. That's better. That's really where you're supposed to be. But when you set up,
that's usually where I am.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Anyway.
I got a kind of a crink in my neck.
Well, anyways, remember Miriam was talking about doing when you were doing the brush shows, she's like, I see a dinosaur chasing Blondie.
Oh, yeah.
She posted in Maker. She screenshotted it and did it. Oh, it's fantastic.
I didn't.
And I meant to have
Well,
it
and
to
I
pop up here.
have to report because yesterday I just came back and all I
think she just posted it today.
Oh,
So,
she did. Okay. Well, I haven't obviously.
So go over into Makers. That's the Makers and Mixed Media Art and Artists Facebook group.
We just don't do it right now.
Yeah, don't.
Unless you can double screen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the pacemaker is in, and yesterday was a very long day. We got there we left the house around 5, and we got there a little after 6, and they weren't even taking anybody in until 7, so we just basically sat there for 45 minutes. We did get a really good parking spot.
Yay!
Yeah, was that. And, you know, everything went as planned. And, yeah.
Yes.
I'm breathing easier now that that's all over with. I absolutely hate going and sitting and waiting for things
Yes.
to happen.
It is.
Okay, so I found this article. And this is from Nautilus. I've used articles from them before. I like them. Was one of those pocket things. But anyway, the article is by Brian Gallagher, and it was on August 16th, 2023. So it's, you know, relatively recent. The title is What Separates Highly Creative People, and brain scans reveal what fuels novel thinking. So this isn't just an opinion. There is some empirical data to
Science, y'all.
science. Yeah.
People been sciencing.
Like magic, but real. Okay.
That should be a t-shirt.
What?
You know, one of those snarky shirts. It's science. Or magic. It's science, but real. Or science.
I think
it's magic, but real. There
I
we
might
go.
be stealing somebody's thunder because
You think that's one?
Yeah,
It might already be one.
It might already be one.
Okay, well, we think it's really funny and we approve it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to read you this article. It's just 3 pages, and it's big print. So
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Explore. The creative spark can flare up in anyone at any time. For the cognitive neuroscientist Evangelina Chrysikou, who I have no idea how you say that, who grew up in Greece, creativity is almost a fundamental human instinct. We wouldn't be where we are today as a species spread across the globe, she says, if we couldn't imagine what's possible and make it happen. For her, all creative acts fall along a spectrum of recombining what you know into something that didn't previously exist. She offers a simple example of what you might do if you're sitting on a chair in a room and someone attacks you. You will very quickly rearrange your thinking about what the chair is and use it as a shield or use other items around you as a weapon, she says. What I have found fascinating is, clearly, we can all do it, but what are these processes? There's something in our brain that lets us take something that, every day, you use as a pen and immediately reorganize it into something that has other kinds of characteristics that can serve a different purpose.
Izzy is fantastic at this. I mean, you using that? Can I have that? Because you can just tell her little brain is.
I know. Yesterday, they have this little circle. It's just like a donut.
It's purple.
Purple, and it's foam that they put behind your head that kind of lets your head sink back in and keeps it in the place where it needs to be.
Right.
So you're not.
And, little miss.
Flipping.
Can I have that?
Oh my goodness! As soon as I saw it, I said, "What do you do with those?" And she says, "We throw them away." I said, "I'll take it."
And of course, Izzy did love it. She's
Yes.
been batting it around the house like a cat.
Okay. Like a tiny spear. In her lab at Drexel University, she probes brain activity with a small f MRI machines and transcranial electrical stimulation to understand what underpins our ability to think flexibly and solve problems. Creative acts rely on access to particular knowledge. Now, you should have heard that before, because this was what I was referring to when people talk about this intuitive, instinctual thing. I think everything that you make is based on something in your past experience. Yeah. I don't think it just suddenly appears there magically.
No, delicious.
Yeah. So, poo-poo on intuition. In a new study, she assembled a group of 20 eminent, and she does not define that other than it's in quotation marks, so I'm assuming she's saying that this is in her opinion. Creators, people with exceptionally high creativity, and matched them with a control group of people of the same age and educational and professional background with lesser powers of creativity. Now, it'd be interesting to know how that was, arrived at. The researchers assessed subject creativity based on responses to a creative achievement questionnaire. She, Andrew Newberg of Thomas University, Scott Barry Kaufman of Columbia University, and other colleagues wanted to find out what in the brain might explain some of the differences in creative achievement between these groups. Among other things, the researchers monitored the blood oxygenation levels of the participants' brain while in a resting state, while they weren't performing any task, to compare how different the functional connections are between certain areas of the brain for each group. So the interviewer caught up with her and said, question was, are there any notable differences in the brains of eminent creative people compared to those who are merely successful and smart? Her answer, yes. So in this recent study conducted at Thomas Jefferson University, we wanted to find out whether there's something about how the different parts of the brain talk to each other under rest, where there is no particular task to be achieved. Is there something about the connectedness, emphasis is mine, of the different regions of the brain within the eminent group that differs from the non-eminent group, and how are these related to the creative success of the participants? The key finding was, for the eminent creators, there was a higher connectivity both within each hemisphere, the right and the left, but particularly across them, and especially in the two key networks that many studies have identified as important for creative thinking, the default mode network and the executive control network. Past research has shown that during most of our day-to-day activities, these two networks are antagonistic. In creative tasks, they seem to be talking a little bit more with each other. In this particular study, our results mirror this finding. For the eminent creators, there was much more dialogue between these two networks relative to the non-eminent creators. When the participants were completing the alternative use task, the traditional measure for creativity, where you show people an object and ask them for a few seconds to verbally generate an alternative use for it, the brains of the eminent creators were more efficient. Meaning, the recruitment of brain regions was much more focused, compared to the non-eminent creators, whose recruitment of the brain regions was more variable, widespread, and less organized. In other words, the brain areas that support creative functions were activated and engaged in eminent creators more often, more strongly, and with more specificity. This was true across the eminent creator group, whether they were famous artists, writers, or lawyers, which I think is a really cool finding. Question: how might you explain your findings in terms of what's happening psychologically? Given what we know about the default mode network, which activates strongly when we remember the past and imagine the future, and the executive control network, which activates when we carry out our plans, our findings suggest that creative acts rely on access to particular knowledge. Kaboom. That's not in there. You have memories about the world around you, about how things work, about how things operate. These memories are retrieved in certain ways, depending on the context of a particular goal you have to achieve. So, the brains of highly creative people engage in this dialogue or filtering of the memory search process based on the context, the tasks that they have to accomplish, especially when they are creating something new. That memory search also helps you reinterpret the particular object. Reinterpret. We need to do much more experimental work to be able to say, here is this particular kind of memory that was reorganized.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
The level of resolution of the results we have is a little bit fuzzier than that, but it's still a very interesting first step toward addressing that question of how you borrow from memory to create things that don't exist. So, I thought that was, I realize, that I'm responding to this because it agrees
reaffirms,
with what
yes.
It's confirmation bias. Yeah.
Yes.
And I am guilty of that. I will admit that. So.
Hey, when it's nerdy, arty, things, I think you're heading in the right direction of whatever you should be affirming.
Golly, I do too. I'm into that.
There are
My reality is what really matters. The rest of it's kind of, whatever.
And hello to all of y'all that are coming in. Had quite a few little people saying hi. I was giving little pink hellos as P was reading, but do say hello in the chat if you have come in, just to, want to say hello. But yes, give those thumbsy upsies if you haven't. We have just kind of begun the arty fun.
Yeah. Okay, I want to recommend an article in The Atlantic. I happen to have a hard copy subscription of it, which I do take with me and read. Usually it's when I'm going to the VA. They don't have very good reading matter.
Oh, here's some good stuff, though, coming in from chat. All right, so Colleen says, this is why we expose our children to multiple experiences and learning opportunities. Jeanette, a.k.a. Janet, says, it reminds me of if you want something done, ask a busy person. And then Apple says she's going blind, and her doctor told her that her memory will fill in some of those gaps. How interesting is that?
Wow.
The mind works in mysterious ways. Yes.
And Marcia says she's a geek. I might not be smart enough to be a nerd. Oh, that's like most nerds
okay.
I've known were very interesting. They were very one.
That's not true.
One
you
topic.
Can be nerdy about a lot of things.
Well,
we are art nerdy.
We are nerdy about art, but
it's other people that have put it in that one box.
Yeah, I don't.
We need to expand that.
Those people are annoying. Okay, so in this month's The Atlantic, there's two things in here, and I think this one article would be very... Is Paula here? I haven't seen her name on the screen yet. She may join us later. But anyway, there's a great article in here. It's called The Ones We Sent Away, and it deals with practices that happened during the 1950s or before that, whatever, about people who had Down syndrome children or children who had special And I'm sure that there were autistic children, you know, the whole gamut of different.
Right, on the spectrum.
They would send them away because there was some kind of personal stigmatism, you know, associated with having a child like that. I mean, hopefully, I think to some extent, maybe we have surpassed that attitude. I'm not sure, but it's a really good article. It cites a bunch of different professional people who actually did that, and it was interesting. The page before that is there is going to be meet great minds who don't, and don't is in red, think alike. And this is, well, there's a whole bunch of different advertisers, but it's put on by the AtlanticFestival.com, and you can attend it virtually. And really the only person well, there were two. Nancy Pelosi and Joaquin Castro were two of the people. The rest of these, I don't know who they are. Kerry Washington, I don't know.
Oh, really? No, she was in that one TV show. Oh, I used to love it. She was like a fixer. I think that's who that is.
I don't know. She's very attractive.
Extremely beautiful.
Okay, and Arthur C. Brooks, know who that is. Jake Tapper, Spencer Cox, Cheryl Strayed, and Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She's a really pretty black woman. But those are the people that will be, you know, great minds that don't think alike. I highly recommend that you kind of check that out. Hey, and get back to me and let me know. Yeah. Okay. The ones that were sent away. It's a really good...
Scandal. Yes. Loved that show.
What was it?
Scandal.
Oh,
I mean, after a while, I got a little, you know. Usually those shows are really great for like 2 seasons because they keep it.
Yeah.
And then it can get real, like, just loopy back to nonsense or just, you know.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, I know those of you who tried to access our first part of our live the other day realized that it had been sent away. So I'm going to do a little demo today on a different way to use brushes, topside, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
And I'm going to try to do it sort of like Louisa Hines. Y'all know who Louisa is.
Yeah, I think most people do.
Yeah. All right, well, she's a good one to watch. I don't know.
Now, has she done anything recently, or are you referring back to, like, you know, way back?
This is like...
Yeah, like 3 years ago, almost, probably.
No, I don't know if it's that long.
Yeah, like probably about 3 years ago.
Maybe.
Okay, I'm going topside.
I don't know. I'm trying to find what brush I want to use here. Okay, I think this one will work. It's just a round. It's not anything special, although it is. These are my...
Devin was asking
Jack
why
Richardson.
was it sent away? What did you send away? I don't know.
Their child.
Oh.
Yeah. And the person writing the article, it was her mother's sister that was sent away. And she didn't, I think it was her mother's younger sister.
She is, Ann.
Yeah. And, yeah. Kind of, you know. Okay, so let me just talk about this. Also in this bunch of stuff that
Oh,
Carla.
no, that was you're thinking of this is how things kind of could get out of hand. No, we're talking about Louisa Heintzel, but you may be talking about Louisa from Dark Door Stamps. She did pass away. There was some kind of cancer.
Oh.
Yeah. But
Well,
Louisa Heintzel is
yeah.
alive and well, as far as I know.
Yeah. Last time we checked, she
Yeah.
was. Okay, so I pulled out today 3 different brushes. Can we see those? Yeah, this one's just barely in. I'll scoot that in a little bit more. Okay.
Oh, that's so nice.
And my little dishes that I steal from the kitchen. This is for soy sauce and wasabi. You know, multiple use.
Yes.
You can scour them up.
I think those used to be mine.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I recognize those.
And I think you used to make little, back in the day when you did creme brulees, and little individual creme brulees, that these were little pans that you
Yes.
used. Yeah. She doesn't do those anymore.
Well, no, those actually aren't. I don't know how or why I have those dishes. Like, you can make creme brulee in that, but really the cream, because I would make a cheesecake brulee. Those were the ones you're thinking of. But those are for brulee, if you're doing it like the more traditional way. Because the ones that you're talking about, the cheesecake ones, are in those little mini springform pans that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Y'all want to know all that.
Y'all want to know about that. Okay. Let me just...
Basically, she has stolen my dishes.
Yeah.
For art purposes. It's what
we don't cook with them anymore, that's for sure. Okay. So, I put this down so that it can catch some of the fluff off that we know is going to happen here. So the colors that I picked here is basically a primary color palette. It's just that this is more rosy, this is more violet, and this yellow has a little bit of orange in it. So, you know, not totally, but yeah, kind of. Basically what Louisa does, and she, you know, she's the one that started off and said, you know, I like to wet my paper before I put my thing on it. And she just puts water out there. And she doesn't like, you know, do a lot in one spot. She just does enough. And then she shushes her brushes out there. And then just kind of pulls it around hither and yon, you know, to make little... And I'm probably not going to do this nearly as well as she does, but you can basically get the idea of, you know, how.
Everybody makes flowers differently.
Okay, that could be an iris, that could be, you know, whatever. Now I'm not going to waste that. I'm going to take that and put that in, and start developing a little bit of a wash here just for chuckles and grins. Mm-hmm. And also I'm going to use some of that when I get ready to do my leaves, because she does leaves too. Okay, so this is called Merlot. That was called Indigo, and that is the Ken Oliver Color Burst. And you can see some things that are happening there. It's pulling a little bit of that violet-y pink out, and that's kind of why I picked the colors that I did, is because there's some violet in here, and there's also some pink in the violet, so that they're kind of, you know, in the same, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, well, we don't want to do anything close to that because we're going to muss it about, and it helps if you wash your brush out, but that's okay. It kind of helps me see where my... It's easy to get too much. Kind of hard not to get enough. It just right. But see how that it just right on the edge of that.
We don't have the infusions. We kind of stopped at the brush shows because it was, or you know, the two that we have, the Color Burst and the brush show. And we're like, okay, you know, I mean, they're fun to play with.
Yeah. And you can also come back in, this is kind of a large brush, I probably need a smaller brush for this. I'm going to grab one of my little, really pointy ones. I'm going to put some in my little thing over here.
There you go.
So that I can
move it about.
Move it about. Pick it up and move it about. Okay. Now I want one more flower here, and I want a yellow flower. Add it to my yellow. Well, I'll just put some out there right now. About that, because that's where I want to mix up.
Yeah.
That's where I want to mix that up anyway. Okay, we got a little pink in that, but that's all right.
If anything, I'll make it peachy.
Peachy.
Peachy. Okay, so Devin mentioned magicals as another option. So yes, they work, I think, similarly. And she said that the magicals are permanent. So once they get wet, they are set. Is that correct?
See, I do not know that. I do not
We
know.
do have some magicals, but
We
they're
do.
all the shiny ones.
They're, yes, metallics.
And the particular ones that Pete is using, there's what, 2 Ken Olivers and then a Brusho, or are those all Ken Olivers color bursts?
These are all Ken Olivers. Yeah.
But those are the 2 brands that we have. Hello, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Different Carol.
Oh. Okay. Now, this is some cool stuff that's happening there. And my, it's kind of weak. So I'm...
And Devin says, yes, so for the magicals, they do have to be fully active, activated to be permanent. So, like, if you went heavy or didn't hit a spot, then all of a sudden something could come back. That's okay, Carol. We're still very happy. But she's wearing the earrings that CB Carol made. I think these are better than your first round of flowers that you made, like this. I'm more impressed with these.
Well, it's just because, and it's not because they actually are. It's just because I think you've watched enough that
I have a better appreciation of them.
I think so. I don't know.
That could be true.
Okay.
I wish we could find those old ones and compare.
I know. I do too. I just put them away.
Yeah, we'll come across them someday.
They'll show up. Okay. Now, that is the other way to use your brush up. Just in a very traditional, almost exactly the same way you would do a wet on wet.
Oh, yes, that was a great recommendation, Carrie. I said for those that were in Tuesday's stream, and it was talked about at one point, hopefully it was the point where the stream didn't get deleted. So the latter one. But yes, using a nutmeg grater.
Yeah.
Would work very nicely to grate those down.
Absolutely. Okay, now hopefully I haven't messed up all of my...
Okay, good.
I just wanted to do a few little, little flowery things here.
Little flowery things.
Little flowery things over here on the side.
Oh, well, Trish, take care.
And this is just with regular paper. I mean, this is just copy paper.
Yeah, the 32-pound Hammer Mill premium copy paper. Oh, yeah. Darcy says she's even seen people just use their X-Acto knife to scrape pastels. And so if you only want like a little bit of it, that would be a great way to just kind of...
Yeah.
It's not something I think you'd want to like, get full on. Like, if you're really serious about it, maybe something a little more industrial. But as far as, just a little bit here and there, I think the X-Acto knife would be a good way to go.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
isn't that nice?
Well, I just lost my nice little white spot there. Damn it.
Sugar biscuits.
Blobs out a lot more when you're using the copy paper. Hard to get some nice.
Yeah.
Oh, but we're going to you know, go over the top of it with something else anyway. All right. Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm going to just leave this up here because I may use this and I don't know. I wanted to share with you my watercolor that I started the other day.
I told you she'd work on it.
Yeah.
Thank goodness she was kind of gone all day yesterday because it would be really, really different. It's only slightly, like, a lot different. Y'all remember this? Just, you know, a day or so ago? This is what she does.
Yeah.
When did you do that? Pretty much after the stream.
Yes. Yes.
So probably good.
I worked on it into that really late
Yeah.
the night, and that's why
Probably a good another 4 or 5 hours on it.
yeah, at least. And the thing about it is I don't know if you can remember what was going on there.
Well,
but
the great thing is even in Miriam's post, she put the before. And that's also what's so funny is I took that screenshot because I was like, it looks really cool. That was a screenshot I used for the thumbnail because I didn't want to mess with all your stuff and figure out what the heck to do. So all I did is screenshot and use that for the thumbnail.
Okay, well, I did not come back. I did come back in with some washes before I started in with the color pencils and put in some background colors. You can see where it's here, that's definitely a bloom on a watercolor.
Miriam says that this is, wow, better than Dinosaur chasing the Blondie.
Well, then we knew that was, and one of the most difficult things that I had to do here was, remember that big swatch of dark blue black that went across here, and it went even down in here. So I tried lifting it, you know, wetting, blotting, lifting. That indigo and I think that's
it no go once it go in.
It stains the paper, and so that's just a cautionary tale there. If you use the indigo full strength, you're probably not going to be, and that would be it up here too, because I didn't do a lot right there. That's more or less. And here's another spot where there's some of that. And of course down here in these two different spots.
Will you hold it up into the technology just so they can really kind of ooh and ah some of the...
Is that good? Can you see it all?
I tell you, you really... This is when I'm always super impressed with your work, is when you get color pencil-y on something. But it is not fascinating to watch for hours upon end.
No. So basically, when I'm doing this, this is not my first. I love rocks. I wish mine.
She has studied rocks for years.
I've studied rocks for years.
She's got a PhD in rock.
I just think it's very interesting because when I look at some of my other rock paintings, this is really a lot brighter and the palette is
normally they're more subdued.
They are
more natural-ish.
Yeah.
Now Violet said that these remind her of the Lake Superior rocks.
Yes, and that could be part of what I'm thinking about here.
Yeah.
So basically, there's only a couple areas that I'd really like to kind of.
Oh, you're calling it done?
Almost.
You gonna put your name on it?
Gonna put my name on it.
Holy moly!
Well, I didn't take the tape off. The dead gum tape started. Every time I put my arm down, I'd get it caught on
self-released.
It's self-released. And I just got sick of it, and I just ripped it off. But it was the washi tape. Now I don't recommend doing that with...
what did you write over there?
Oh, this is the type of paper.
Okay.
It's Canson cold pressed 140 pound. 140 pound. And actually, this is its orientation, though. I mean, I think that this is.
Maybe we need a shirt that says rocks. Love them, study them, collect them, tote them, draw them,
paint them, pencil them,
talk about them with my friends,
share my rocks.
Okay,
I wrote this down on this because this is really, really important. When you're doing colored pencils, because you will have oils even if your hands are as dry as mine are. And did you notice I put a little bit of sparkle up here
Oh,
on these two.
you did. Look
I
at
mean,
that.
it's very subtle, but, you know, it's what you would actually maybe see in a sandstone rock in the sunshine.
And then they glisten in the
They,
water.
they do glisten. That's a wonderful word. I love that word. Okay, so what was my thinking about the background here? My thinking about the background was I want it to be...
Oh, SWL says, as for tape, she learned recently by trial, automotive painter's tape works wonderfully. All right.
Well,
Good tip.
Sure.
Thank you.
sign it and call it done. Well, I think it is almost done. There's just a couple of
just
places
little,
that are bothering me, but I will. And it's mostly where I see the dark line where I got really heavy-handed with my pencil.
Oh.
I need to deal with that, and I will. But that's really about it.
How are you going to deal with that? Are you thinking about putting a little texture gesso over it? And
Oh, no. No. I'm just going to come in and work it.
because, I mean, at some point in time there when you have so much pencil.
And I just need to pull it out a little bit.
Oh, you're talking about that line.
Yes, the edge of the rocks.
I got you.
Okay?
Not that you had color, because you wouldn't dare over pencil, color pencil.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're saying.
I was saying, because you have used color pencil to get it to this point. It with your colored pencils, with your Prismacolor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I thought you were saying is that you had overworked kind of an area.
Oh, no.
See, she wouldn't do that.
No.
No.
And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
But a good way to add surface back to an area like that would be with the clear texture gesso.
Yeah.
And you could just kind of bring it in.
But see how I just, just sitting there and mussing about with that line, I've kind of, and that's basically what's happened over there. And I like that it kind of, I'm happy with that shape that comes out there, because what it does, it makes the rock sink down into the sand a little bit. It's not just sitting up there.
Yes, she did use she did use the Derwent Intense colored pencil. Those are the ones that created the line, like the outlines.
That's the drawings that I did there. Okay, I'm really, I have this rock and it's downstairs. I wished I'd thought to bring it up.
Which one is it? I can go find it.
It's the one on the shelf that sits up like this.
The green one?
It's black. It's on the shelf above the buffet.
The kitchen one?
No.
Oh, in there. Okay.
In the gallery.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, with the lines?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the end of it's broken off. And initially, this was two separate rocks here, but this was just the part of the rock and that was behind this rock here. But when what I started seeing here was that this piece here is what's the inside of the rock. If it breaks and just, gets broken on a line, pardon me, that is more or less just straight across. And I sort of just went with that, and I thought it looked kind of cool. It could actually, still be a part of this rock, because a lot of times what you will see when you're looking for rocks in Alaska, there would be rocks broken like that because the all-terrain vehicles would drive over them and break them, and then they would just be left in situ right there, just like they were broken. So that's kind of the idea of that rock. The textures on the rocks, it's really important to me, and I this one right here, I've actually found rocks where part of it was just broken off into a sort of and you could see the insides of the rocks. Yes. Okay, look at that.
Old baby's been drawing on some of our rocks. You can talk to her about that.
Look at that little fart. But you can see here, look at this color. So even though I wasn't looking at these, I knew about
rock.
these.
Yeah, that was the rock I was thinking of whenever you were drawing that one. I was
But
like,
this is the
that's
one,
a
look
green
at this. Look at the texture on this rock.
You gotta hold it to the side so they can really, and hold it up more into the camera a little bit. There you go. Not a pretty rock.
Isn't that, I mean, do you see what I'm going for here? But this is so cool because it sits up.
Oh yeah, Angel, we've actually even done that. I mean, it's been a long time.
And I love these. These are, you know, I think it was a tool. And I absolutely love, I'm going to beat that child. Well, I don't know what you drew on here with.
Might have to use the Gooby gun or something if it's...
Yeah, it's coming off. Some kind of a pencil or something. Anyway, isn't that color beautiful? I love that color.
And it's so smooth.
And these are, you find them over a lot. And I know there's one person that actually collects rocks that it completes the circle on the rock.
Yeah, it might be barnacles. And hello, Gretchen.
Oh, it could be. I found this on the, and I mean this is heavy. It's a very dense rock. And I think it's shale. But I just have always thought it was the coolest thing. I mean, this probably weighs 2 pounds.
Probably.
Fabulous rock. Fabulous. Anyway. Well, all of them are in their own special way. And yeah. I have whole bunches of rocks. Cool. Anyway. That's where all this is coming from. And from my actual experience. I have a painting over here on the wall, and Mariah's supposed to take a picture of it, of underwater rocks.
Is it the big one?
Yeah, it's the big one.
Well, here, you know what we can do? Hold on. I got ideas.
You
Technology, y'all. Technology. Hold
Technology?
On. This one?
Yeah. That was taken on the Kenai River. And the water on the Kenai River is actually turquoise. I'm not just making that up. It really honestly is.
Here. You can show it in the and then I'll post that in Makers.
This was actually one of my first oil paintings that I ever did under the tutelage of my husband. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Is that good?
That's better. But yeah, I'll post that in Makers. One thing I like about the oil paintings is they don't have glass on them. It's all these ones that are under glass that are a little pain in the glass.
And I just think it's a beautiful paint. This is how it's supposed to be. It twisted and turned and that. Yeah. This is the bottom of the painting. Okay, thank you, Mariah.
Yeah,
look at that.
Look at us. On demand.
Wow. Yeah. And thanks for getting my rocks for me.
You're welcome. Look at me finding them.
Yeah. And knowing where this one was.
What's next?
Well, what's next is kind of an experiment.
Ooh. Those are usually done on Tuesday. Look at us mixing things up.
Well, this is, you know, what is today? This is Thursday?
Thoughts and Arty Fun.
I could save it.
No, I was
for Tuesday.
Joking.
I'm going to get these out of here because I do not want to muss about on my...
Oh, I will say that we have lots of exciting things coming up. I have a couple more Halloween stencils and such in the works. I have made mini, you know, the little bats.
Mini bat.
Oh, look.
Mini bat.
That for, like, queuing some stuff up.
And I've
so
also
those are the
asked
freebies.
for an STAMP of said bat because I think it would be wonderful.
Okay. It has been noted.
It has been turned into
the request
R&D department.
Yeah. But yeah, so lots of fun stuff coming up. Brad has some new things that are going to be coming out. You know, I don't know exactly when, but you know, we do always have fun and new things coming out. So stay tuned on that end of it. There's going to be some people receiving things here and there and all over the world. So that's going to be fun. You know, keep your little papers open across the channels.
Mariah, can you get me some not pink water?
Sure.
Thank you. I really tried hard not to contaminate them, but you know how that goes. All right, so here's what I'm thinking on this, and I don't know that this will work. You know, but I have enough belief in myself that even if I do mess it up, I think I can pull it out in the end.
You know what? I believe in you.
Do you believe in me? Thank you. And I appreciate you fetching my water for me.
I also believe in magic and science at the same time.
I don't think one's mutually exclusive of the other. So, I've got this painting, and I think these are really nice rocks, and I think they're, you know, they're okay. But they're not knock it out of the ballpark kind of. So I really want to push it a little.
And Rhonda, I'm sorry, I kind of whipped the bat on you, like, you know, hey, we made freebies out of that one. You know, she requested it. It was mentioned the other day. So.
Yeah. I said I don't need that bat to be slightly smaller so that I can use it in smaller areas.
And I thought since Halloween's coming up, it would be a good little freebie.
All right, so here's what I think I'm going to do. I thought about this. I thought about this while I was at the VA. I made myself some notes, but they're in my purse downstairs in my cute little notebook. Was that from CB? No, that was from
Kathy, I think.
Kathy.
The cute little notebook.
The cute little notebook.
The watercolored one.
Watercolor notebook, yeah. Mm-hmm. And made some notes about, you know, what I was going to do. But it's downstairs. So what I'm going to do here, I want to use the brushos. That's right. But I want them to go where I want them to go. So I'm just going to wet parts here. And then I'm going to come in with my brushos. And see, that area where it's just, you know, still whatever there. And then I can pull that out.
That was a bold move. That scared me.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
And start creating my background here. And what I keep in mind is I want to keep it kind of close, but yet at the same time know that I can come in and kind of wash it out if I get to it in time. But I don't, that's not really, I don't care so much about that. I really don't. Now, what is this? Oh, Prussian blue. Oh, hell no. We already experienced that. I want sandstone. Dark brown.
Dealt with that.
Maybe not. Where is my... I know I had sandstone out here, didn't I?
I don't know. Maybe you put it back.
I've got scarlet. Well, we'll just use a little ochre. It's kind of the same thing.
Same difference.
Yep.
Want a straw?
I'm blowing it over where it needs to be.
Where's your little woofer thing?
And, you know, this may look really garish right now, but it's given me a good undertone. And what I decided when I was doing my other one is that I really would have liked for it to be a little more Powsie Wowsie and not so dull, because I can always dull it. It's kind of hard to come in and jazz it up once it's...
Apple wants to know if anyone here makes their own granulation formula, how, and she needs details. We purchased ours on the internet from Winsor & Newton. It was very easy. Let me know if y'all want the link.
What is it?
You know, the granulating.
Oh, yeah, the stuff. I've got it. I have it over here.
Hello, Lygia.
Okay.
Oh, that is so funny, Griffin. Thank you for asking, Rhonda. because somebody actually commented on the last stream that asked about the board. So the funny thing is that we've had those boards forever. I had it because I used to photograph things with them. And then she took it over. She's like, can we get more of these? These are fantastic. Because I can't remember exactly what we were doing that they ended up being. I think it was just, around the studio and stuff. But yeah, they're just photographer platforms. And if y'all want, I can give you a link because I just looked it up and gave it to somebody else the other day. But I'll pop it into the thing.
And the other day, the one that it kept coming off of was the back side of one of the black ones, which they're kind of,
they're very shiny, and that's because they're supposed to be reflective. So a lot of times you can take pictures of jewelry and stuff, and then that way that you have that like cool reflection on them. But then you get like a black and a white one in certain sets, or some sets come with like 3. But here's the set that has the black and the white in it. It'll at least get you started on your search if you are wanting these. The nice thing about them, they are a great thickness, and then they have the rounded edges, which is not something you would necessarily be able to like have the hardware store do. They're not going to do that. They're just going to do straight cuts things.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to leave some white. It's always nice. Indicates it's a watercolor. More yellow ochre going here.
So there's that link.
And I don't know why they call this yellow ochre, because it really, I don't think I don't think it ever ochred anything.
It was a biggin, Susan.
What?
Her order. She said it arrived today. It just says, and my big, fat, beautiful PM Artist Studio order arrived today. I'm happy that it came before the weekend. That's awesome.
All right, I'm trying to get that edge of that. But I did, it's okay because this side is a very light, so I'll have my shadow be on that side. And that's one of the things that you can kind of, decide. Just remember, watercolor painting, you're not going to get it all done in one fell swoop. It requires patience and perseverance.
Hey, Carla.
Okay, now where's my...
Oh, Carrie says it looks like streams around their old coal mines where the iron is leaching from the earth.
Yes. And this is a little bit too red, but I want to be careful with that.
Nope. I find this a little suspenseful.
It doesn't, once I discovered gesso,
You're like,
changed my life. If I don't like it, I'll just paint over it with some white paint and it'll be done.
oh, that'll fix you.
I suddenly, my whole outlook on life changed.
The fears went away.
And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I don't know why that's pinking out on me. I really don't want it to pink out.
Well, it's Brusho. Or it's, watercolor crystals.
Yeah.
Surprises around every corner.
Every corner.
Carrie says lift it with some paper towel.
I can do that. But I don't really care.
And Wendy says gesso, the new beginning.
Seriously. And the thing about it is if you know your your color wheel, you can alter whatever you've got out there.
Yeah.
And this particular red that I've got going on here can be absolutely the perfect thing to make a dark shadow.
Okay, so Violet says recently she discovered watercolor ground. Gives me more substrates to paint on. I don't know what that is, so we'd love some more info on that.
Don't know what that is.
And Susan says, yeah, she gets that sometimes. The dreaded mauve. Mauve.
Yeah.
That's how they say it. I don't like that. I think it's mauve.
And it's okay. I'm not even worried about it. I'm not worried about it.
Oh, Apple says that she has her white gesso picks up the tint of the watercolor underneath and then dries in that color, not while. Any suggestions?
Yeah, that is a...
Here would be a thought. You could clear texture gesso first.
You could, and that would seal it.
Yeah. So then, because that's going to lock in that color more, and then put your gesso on top of it. Just a thought. I would be interested if that would... Because you're right, it leaches the color. And pretty much every gesso does that. We have charts. Don't make me bust out the charts. Ah, Robin, that is very good information. She says dye will always seep through all layers. Pigment will not.
And you know, it's just like, I can't remember who I was talking to in Baltimore. We're talking about browns, and they said, you know, they're always admonishing you not to create browns. And I'm like, you know, it's kind of like brown, sort of, kind of, do.
Well, I think that the brown has gotten the bad rap because it's just, that's the color that when you mix all the colors, you end up with. And so it's more representation of frustration for many versus a color to be celebrated like you do because you know and can adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
Wasn't that said poetically?
Boy, that was.
Mm-hmm. My
I
brain's
think
firing today.
You should write that
Write
stuff
that down.
Holy cow, yeah.
It's okay. I got it. And I promise I won't delete this stream. Thumbsy upsies, y'all.
Thumbsy upsies. Okay,
This is a keeper.
This is a keeper. Some sandstone in here.
Eddie says that there's a guy on MSNBC that is famous for his charts. I think I know what you're talking about. I love that.
Famous for his what?
Charts. Oh, here, Joan says that she has watched videos where artists seal watercolors with cold wax and then frame them without glass or mount on cradle board. Oh, she wants to try it. So it's like encaustic, right?
I mean, yes. I don't
Right?
know.
You just paint it with the wax stuff. I think, Two Old Crows, Peg, she was into doing that for a while. I don't know if it was per se like watercolor, but I like a nerdy dude.
I'm just getting some paint down up here. I don't really, you know. I don't like that.
Yes, exactly, Susan. I've been taking these new vitamins for brain health. I'm like, you know, why not start early? Or ish, midlife. I don't know. Better late than never. There we go. That one works.
And basically what this is exactly what I did on the other one. I just went through, I used my watercolors to get in some initial color stuff going on there and blend out some edges. and gives me a good background for coming in and going over it with colored pencil. So right now the background is a lot more vibrant than the rocks. I'm okay with that. That's not to say that will stay that way. I mean, it doesn't have to. And I still have lots of nice water here so that I can get some good stuff going on here.
Eddie, I put it in chat, and I put a link if you want it. I'm not going to miss any opportunity to drop an affiliate link. I tell you, I like this brand of stuff. The Ollie, and I take the women's multivitamin along with, I really like the little happy and their little gummy worm things. Number one, I really like the way they taste. They make me happy. I don't know if chemically they do, but the taste of them makes me happy. That was lovely. I don't think you should push that around too much. It's like a phoenix in the sky.
Yeah, I'm just getting okay. So here, you know, oh gosh, I have salt out here.
Ah.
Salt. I just gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's just getting Swedish chefy on it.
Yeah.
There you
Well,
go.
you can't have your background, you know, like being
No.
the most important thing there. Holy moly.
No, but it will, like once you get some more water down there, it could, you know.
Yeah.
Dull that out. Oh,
We're
hello,
gonna
Sue.
get some interesting things going on here, and I'm, you know, regretting putting that brown down quite as heavy as I did.
Yeah, the little things that she's shaking on there are the watercolor crystals. One brand is Ken Oliver, the Color Burst. The other one are Brusho. And then she's kind of just taking off and also using some things there in the little dishes. Both types of watercolor crystals.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have the same kind, Ellen. Although I wouldn't be opposed to those.
And I'm kicking rocks of, see that? Rock salt around here. Yeah, okay, I'm wanting that. The trick is to mess it up good enough that you can just rationalize doing about anything. I'm not using black on this one. I'm just not going to do it.
Are you telling yourself?
I mean, I struggled with that on the last one, and it's like you can always make it darker.
Yes.
It's hard to come in and suddenly decide that you want it. I like this sandstone. I really do like this sandstone. I wish I could get a little bit more blue stuff going on here, but oh well. Orange is good too. Orange is kind of rocky color, you know? This particular orange.
Yeah, you're getting a little cray-cray there.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
It'll be okay. What was that? Oh.
Hey, Anthony.
Okay. Now I am going to.
Notice how before she was being a little more like close to it. Now she's just
Yeah, you just
a
get to the
wider
point, you're
range.
just like, seriously, what are we being all precious about here?
Violet says, so many techniques. This woman uses 2 brushes in one hand, sprinkle here, dab there, smush, swirl, brush.
I get into it.
Yeah, and people are starting to yell. Darcy's one of them. They're chanting basically, step away from the arts.
And I shall listen to you.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's because
I have another one backed up. This is why you
Remember, she started this one
You
the other
know,
day.
yeah. All right, we're not going to even mess around with that other going around carefully around everything. Screw that.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, there
Yep.
was some brushos there. Wonder where those came from.
Give They were just little lurkers in the background there. In the best way possible.
Lurkers will be. Okay, now where's my brown that I don't really... Oh, scarlet. Okay, Prussian blue is out. Oh, here we go. Dark brown.
Oh, Gretchen was saying, looks like and I think it's the last one that you just put away, but looks like the rocks are lying on a piece of seaweed. At least one of the kinds of seaweed we get here in Washington are kind of rocks too. Nice.
Yeah.
Eddie yells, "Yes, spray that thing."
Okay, I'm irked that I put that brown on again.
Yeah.
There we go. Kind of lost a little something there, but I don't think it's anything that like...
Darcy, I think she's channeling her inner misadventures with the mixed media. Hello, Jillian.
I'm making waves here.
Oh, this is the
This is the wave making technique.
Put enough water down and make some actual waves.
You know, get some what do I want to say? Get some direction. All right, we're just gonna, you know. It's important to show you these things and know that I've actually taken my watercolors to the bathtub and used the shower.
It just hosed it off. You're like, well, couldn't get any worse at this point. We're hosing her down. To the shower you go, you naughty watercolor.
Okay, I'm liking that. I kind of lost that stark white there in that, but I don't really care about that. It was too stark white anyway.
Eddie would like me to take the brown away from you. I didn't want to reach over and get my hand slapped.
There we go. Well, you know, it's kind of like a lot of things. I think it's important to know what not to do. And it's just like everything in life. It's kind of just depends on what you feel is appropriate. Now, this rusty stuff going on here, I like that. And I agree with you, Eddie. I think the brown is...
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. And I really, you know, I wished I could just pick out certain crystals in the black and use those. But the problem is it's kind of like life. You don't just get the parts that you want, you get it all.
Yeah, it's the Russell Stover's box of chocolates. You're just going to have to buy the whole thing if you really want them.
And
you can still poke them in the bottom and put them back, but you're still going to end up with a whole box of chocolates.
Yeah, and I've also got some salt out here, and I don't know what dissolved salt does to your... It's kind of supposed to be an afterthought, but
not a during.
Not a during. It's kind of rolling around out there. At least I think I got rid of most of the big chunks that are...
See, notice she started out with, the really good stuff that she's been working on for days, and now we're ending up with some of this thing and be like, it's fine. It'll get there to like the other ones.
It will. I mean, it absolutely will. And the other thing, I did a much better job drawing out these... The line work on these is much more reserved. You know, you can wiggle your brush around there and get rid of some of that stuff, but you want to be careful because, yeah.
Yeah. You know.
There's that.
You got to be careful when you're wiggling your brush.
Yeah, you do. Because you're going to be, but now see, I'm loving what's happening there. And I've got, this area over here is absolutely wonderful. I love the color of that little rock. I'm not so crazy about this dude right here, but you know, I'm going to work with it. And then when I look back at my rock over here, I'm thinking, oh yeah, look, there it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That was it. And some Eddie says, why do people have issues with the boxes of chocolate? He eats every darn piece.
This is what Mariah would do. If she didn't take, she would stick her finger in it
In the bottom.
to see if it was the one that she wanted. Then she'd put it back in, and you wouldn't know that it had been, you know, accosted.
Yeah.
And
I didn't want any of that weird cherry goo stuff.
And
Tastes like cough syrup.
I really like the weird cherry stuff. I really honestly do. Okay, now we've got some good, obviously this is some of that waxy
Hi,
stuff.
Laura.
See the wax stuff there? Where the white is? And I think really the most effective way to do it as far as rocks are concerned is just to take your crayon and just kind of squish it. And then pick it up and just squish it and maybe drag it just ever so slightly. Because I think those are the best spots right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to bring back the...
Oh, yeah. No, I try to be sneaky about it. I still want them to look nice on the top.
Okay, so here we are with this dude again. We're going to do some sucky-uppy here before...
Oh, that's funny, Wendy. When he says Mariah the chocolate fondler.
The what?
Chocolate fondler.
She was.
That's probably a nicer word for what I was doing to the chocolates.
Molesting. She was molesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know, remember we talked about the alternate meaning for frottage?
Yeah.
On Billions?
Mm-hmm.
They were referring to that.
The other kind of frottage.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't remember who it was, but they, the language in that show, the metaphors, the similes are just absolutely out of this. Have I mentioned this? Whatever.
Thank you, Gretchen. Sorry, they're just really into the chocolate fondling.
Oh.
Yeah. But remember, they're also a little bit behind. Like, you know, it'll be a second or two, and they'll be on the Billions thing with you.
Okay. See that stuff? Once it's down,
Here's my
it is there.
Okay, here's my question about all of this. Yes, this blue business that is.
Yes.
Can you
over.
redirect some of that?
Redirect it?
Yeah, like, I mean, it all seems to be kind of moving in. Well, you have some that are moving up this way and some that are moving this way.
No, not really.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're down. They're doing their thing. They're here to stay.
Yeah. And this is what I was dealing with. I'll bring my other one back. I just wanted to mop that up and show you that, you know, I was kind of cleaning up some of those edges.
Oh, yeah. That is smart because it'll build up out there. And
There was this here, and it took me forever. I mopped it up. I tried to get it up, etc., etc., etc. And yeah. So that, and it was difficult because I had to, if I wanted to show the edge of the rock and indicate that it was in a shadow, well, what I'm dealing with here is if these two values were almost identical. So you didn't see the edge of the rock. It's just like this smushy shadow. So I worked that, and I worked it with colored pencil as well as watercolor. The other thing I wanted to talk about was once you reach the point where you're really starting to get you're solidifying your rocks.
that's funny.
Yeah. Then you start thinking about, okay, directionality. I want to draw the viewer's eye around. And one of the ways that you can do that is repeating the color. Okay, so I cued in on this, and I think that that's interesting because it's almost identical.
Okay, so they're asking about the billions now. See, I told you. Give me a second. So, see, you moved on, but hold on. So, Billions is on Showtime.
Yes, it is.
And hello, is it Natalie or Nathalie? What's funny is Izzy has two girls in her class. One is a Natalie and
Nathalie.
Yeah, but I think it's Nathalie. I mean, that's how I would pronounce it, but it could just be Natalie.
Yeah.
Just a fancier
Yeah, can you
spelling.
like phonetically spell it for us, please? Yeah. Okay.
What?
Yes, it definitely is, and you're going to have to pay for the seasons 6 and 7. They do that. I had to.
Oh yeah, and who was
subscribe to
Did
Showtime.
you release this thing?
What?
They had a 5-pound. Okay, we had a 5-pound box of chocolate for employees at the bank. We came in one day to find a single bite taken out of each one. They had to look at security footage to see what had happened.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can't leave us there. Who was it? Who ate the chocolate? Who had a little nibble? See, poking it is one thing.
Yeah, but teeth marks. That's
Yeah,
they sort of like messed it up for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is so interesting. When I'm looking at this in the monitor, you see what I'm talking about here, and I'm going to raise it up into the technology because I don't think that you're actually seeing this area here needs some work.
Why? I think. Oh, around the edge of it.
Yes.
Because it looks like it's glowing versus.
Well, I don't see an edge there, and I'm in a quandary because I want the shadow to be dark, but the rock is actually dark. So it is what it is. But now this is what I was talking about when I brought that rock over. This color, I have taken it around and repeated it in all of these different places so that you, the viewer, even though you may not realize it right away, that you're looking around, your eyes are searching for that similar color of greenish, and it does draw your eye around. It's one way to do that. And we talked about the last time we were here a focal point rock. And I don't know that I do have a focal point rock, but I think the one that you immediately go to is this one right here. Because there's so much light next to so much dark that this probably is the focal point rock. But I put a little bit of orange. I put a little bit of every single color that's all around out here in this rock also, purposefully. Here I'm working on a hole in the rock. Some of the rocks, and I don't know that I don't know what happened to the holy rocks from Junction.
Those bigger ones that kind of stack together?
I actually tied them all together and made kind of they're on a rope. I don't know where they are.
Kind of like, ears on a...
And I don't think there are any on the sculptures up there. But this rock up there that I'm not going to get down because it weighs too much and it'll hurt my shoulder.
Oh, here, I'll grab it for you. Hold on. I'm going to take my thing down so my thumb isn't in the...
It's and these are rocks that you find in Junction, Texas, on the Llano Estacado River, and we called them holy rocks, and it meant like holy as they had holes in them, but also, oh my gosh,
like holy moly, they're heavy.
Yeah, they would be like this, except they would just have the hole. They weren't the bunches of
A little
them.
closer. Yeah, there you go.
Isn't this marvelous?
Told you she's a rock keeper from way back.
And see, there is this hole right here goes all the way through.
Look at that. Poking it like a chocolate.
I have it has its mate somewhere else because I have 2 of these. I needed to wash this.
It needs a little
bit better.
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, everything around here needs a little looking after.
Some furry stuff on it. But that's the kind of thing that people think that, well, your rocks are kind of fantastical.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. They're really not. They're all within the realm of because if you look at this one, you see that nice rusty color there on that edge. And I wasn't even looking. I'd forgotten about this. But see, my memory retained that. So even though I knew, and I wish you could feel this. It's just
I love that rock.
Suavecito. It's just really, really, it's really nice. And that is one that came from Alaska. I can't remember exactly where, but yeah, on the beach. Okay.
Where are we at? You got about 30 minutes.
Well, I don't really know what else. I mean, we can look at these, but they're probably way too wet to be doing anything to.
Well, I mean, we could have some. Got any Q&A or?
Yeah, this is definitely. Trying to see what I've got on the back side of that. Some piece of paper.
We could always end it too. Oh, Gretchen has a rock that she got in first grade 61 years ago.
I have some rocks that I've had for a very, very long time. I have some rocks that my great-grandmother's father found on the plains of Kansas that are really interesting looking. Yeah. Little cute little knobby things on them, and one of them is completely round and it's totally you know where my perfume is in the bedroom? Oh, there's two rocks right next to it.
That was the chair, by the way.
I don't know how long y'all are going to believe that sort of thing. Now, you have to be careful. If it's still wet, it's going to go up into areas that you didn't want it to if you don't. I like messing, or as long as you stay away from the edges, you can add some more things at this point because they're wet. Okay, now see this one? Isn't that cool?
Bye, Lynn.
And then this, look at this. And it's a rock. It's not man-made.
I wonder how it ended up sliced like that.
I don't know the story. I don't know.
Where'd you find that one?
I didn't. This is the one that Grandma Anderson's dad found these in Kansas.
Those are Kansas rocks.
These are Kansas rocks. But this one is very heavy also. And this could be iron pyrite there. I always used to think it was like a
That's right.
a meteor.
Oh, Sandra wants to know if you have any prints to pull.
Have any what?
Prints?
Oh. Yes.
Well, there you go. There's something to do.
I have some prints. I have some stuff that we need to get down.
Well, there you go. Put down some paint.
Yeah.
Stop poking at your watercolors. You probably need to let them be.
It's very true. Very true. Okay, well, I'll
Bye,
get
Carrie.
this all, I'm just going to get it out of here.
Apple says it was a meteor or some sort of ammunition.
Ah. Could be. Could be a cannonball.
Yes.
Okay, I'm missing a
lid.
No, I'm missing a. Oh. No. What did I do with brown? Did I cover it up here? Ah. Dark brown. Pushed aside.
Well, the universe was hiding it from you.
True.
Eddie was using his Jedi mind tricks to be able to move it away from you.
Well, it worked. It got knocked over here and I didn't know where it was.
I like that you're cleaning up.
Well, you know, one mess at a time. That
Here,
dadgum salt.
if you hand me your rocks back, I'll put them, or your ammunition, or whatever those there.
Thank you.
If you want me
I'll
to take,
just put this on the floor over here.
yes,
No, I'll put it
It
right
needs a
there, 'cause
wash
I
it.
do not want to stumble over that. That would
that's
hurt.
true.
Make me very angry.
I'm gonna go put these back.
Bless you. Okay, well, what are we pulling here? Oh, we're pulling something that, yeah. Remember this side? Well, this is for my eventual book that I'm working on, which,
The flower one.
the flower print.
And that's been on there a little while.
Oh, actually, yeah, it has. It's Monday. Monday. Okay, there we go. I covered up another print underneath. Can you tell which one it was?
Well, I'm excited that you used the unraveling pansies.
It was over the top of, I don't know what it's called, but it was Miriam's print.
Oh.
Yeah. So these pages go together like that.
I love it.
And then when they go in the book, open that up.
I love that red and blue together.
I know, isn't that nice? Looked like there was picking up a little bit of gunk on the plate from,
Oh, bye, Jeanette.
yeah. Okay, well that's one.
She says, happy stream.
Thank you. I'm losing my voice. Oh, here, this is cool.
Have we ever gel printed both sides for journal pages? Oh yeah, well, because those book pages.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I mean, my God, we spent probably. It was longer than a month, and it might have been 2.
Doesn't that look cool?
Yes, that's beautiful. You redeemed yourself,
I did.
because I don't remember your other ones being that good.
They were.
They were not.
You just didn't want to say anything about it.
Okay.
Okay. Now we can come back to the Buddha head. Okay. I don't know that it's going to make all that much difference, but I thought it might, depending on what color I put on top of this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I don't like this one.
Yeah, I know you don't. But I don't know that there's, when I hold it up to the light, I can still see places where there might be some color coming through. Never know. So what are we going to pull this with? I want to pull it with something light. Could just go white.
Yeah, I think you should, because I don't know that it really.
I don't think it's
probably, not a big deal.
It probably isn't a big deal, but then I would think about even there's some little places there I'm seeing there's already some white peeking through, from the Buddha.
Mm-hmm.
The Buddha head.
Mm-hmm. Well, then why don't you go with a gold, because then it'll be at least reflective and push
This
some.
is true. Well, I'm gonna have to go with the heavy body because the thin gold is not going to pull that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just
There'd be a lot of layers and a lot of factors there at play.
And we want to make sure that that's going down into all of those and catching on those little edges, because that's notoriously what happens. That's what happened with that thing that Mariah had that I went through, and so we'll just smush it, the smushy good stuff over it.
I was wondering. See, she's been messing with my chair too. I just moved my arm up. I was like, why are my arm things like not? Normally I lean on it. And she's messed with that.
I didn't do it.
I'm just letting you know. Hey, Debbie. You gotta come back and watch the watercolor business.
Okay, now I need to smush this down really good. I've got to find my brayer. I'm going to use the knobby side so I can make sure I've got good contact with all of that business on the Buddha figure. Got some salt. Hear that?
Did you do it in the video, Eddie? And then Dawn says that, yeah, she does hers too. Printing both sides of the pages.
Yeah.
Now ours, usually what P would do is we cut them down. That's how we did the smaller books.
Yeah.
So this will be kind of the first time she's thought about doing like folded book pages with printed both sides.
Yeah, I've never done that before. I've watched other people do it, but I haven't. Okay, we've got yellow and purple going on here. I really think this is such a nice...
I like this one.
I want to keep it light, so I am going to go with a heavy body, just plain titanium white. Because I like this thing that's going on here.
Yeah. Yeah, we see you now. I mean, if you were doing it earlier, I don't think I saw any posts, but...
And I did use here on this, I used this.
That's the fancy paint.
But it really is, you can see how white it is compared to the titanium white, which has a little bit of a yellow cast to it, maybe. See that little hickey thing right there?
You can post the link here, Eddie, if you want. You got a wrench. You can use it.
Get it down in all the creases so that you don't see anything, because it needs to grab onto all of those little...
Yes. You needs to get down in it. On it and around it.
No.
Oh, it's in his Dropbox. That's not helpful to these people, Eddie. Just saying. You may want to, do a little video and a little talkie over or something. Y'all stay tuned. Eddie's working on it.
Slap that
Slap it.
bearing down there with a little authority. Don't be afraid to.
Because not only do you want the paint down on it, you want the paper down on it.
You do. And don't forget to give
There you
your
go.
edges a little extra love. Now you can see, can you see it? How it's raised?
Yes. Did y'all see that?
It's quite busy with these little dudes. I guess I didn't really
Yeah,
realize
you were on a Buddha and a bat and a brick run.
Okay. I think we're just going to go ahead and go over this with another yellow.
Yes. It needs to be brightened up.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to go with nickel.
I don't know if that's going to do a lot.
It's not going to do much. It's going to stay the same. But the reason I'm going with this open, this nickel azo gold business here, is because number one, it is open. That means it's going to take a little more time to adhere to all of those little, Buddha edges. Make all the white go away.
That way you know you've covered it.
That way you know you've covered it. It kind of looks like a buffalo, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
Buffalo Buddha.
And now there are 4, Susan. What's up? You got something in there?
Yeah, I have a... I just sanded off a little bit.
Oh, I hear it. Got something stuck to it.
I don't know that it's, taking away from its performance, but...
That one's beautiful. It's just that red one I don't like.
Looks pretty cool.
Or the top of a turkey.
Who said that?
Eddie.
Eddie?
Really just depends on how you're looking at it.
I will look at Izzy and I will say, do I look amused?
She also now repeats these types of things. And I'm like, oh my God, little Gigi, you need to tamper down that attitude.
She does. And I am just like, listen here, sister.
I've earned the right to be sassy.
Just
yeah.
cut that out right now. You're not old enough to be saying things like that. Okay, let me see what else we got here.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Buddhas, I don't know what I've got on this. I have just a bunch of stuff. Let's see what we can do here.
What is this that's going on?
Oh my gosh, I put that back down on top of that.
Yeah, you're just playing with fire over there.
Not a good thing.
It's just not enough flat surface.
There's not. Oh, I've got that. That could be interesting.
You putting the other one back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I had plans for this.
Oh, hey, I meant to tell you that Gel Press shared one of our reels.
Which one?
The one that looks that I called like the camouflage dancing leaves.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I know.
Hoopty darn do.
Hoopty darn do.
I used
Barbed wire.
barbed wire. I used
Bob.
this morning.
Well, it's so funny because a lot of times I don't really know that these sorts of things happen. They did actually tag us, which is awesome. But I don't always see that, like, because Instagram notifications are very irritating to me because it's just like it's all there, everything, and so it just.
Well, what are you talking about?
There's not any organization to it. It's like you just have notifications, whether it's, that somebody likes something. If you've been tagged in something, it's just all in one place. And I find that overwhelming.
So you have to go back and find
Yeah,
it.
you really have to kind of dig through stuff, and it's very easy to just skip over something. But then I noticed that, like, we had more followers. So that usually prompts me to then say, oh, okay, well, something's going on. I probably need to look at the notifications a little more deeply. And sure enough, they had shared it, which I was glad that I went back and looked. Because, it can be, like, way back. And it's just, it seems like there's got to be better ways. I mean, it's not very encouraging, I think, to people that are posting to then engage with people that are commenting, because it's very easy to miss stuff, and I certainly don't do it on purpose, and I try to get to everybody and at least give a little heart and a thanks too, because I think that's important. I do
Me too.
You support
I'm an
this
Instagrammer from way back.
Yeah.
I like that, just like that.
Careful, it's gonna stick down and you pull it up.
I know.
Or unless you want to.
Bum me out because I really liked it like it was. Hey, that's not bad either.
No, it's not. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that one. That over there and get some watercolor on it.
Yeah, you would think that, much like some of the others, you'd be able to separate it out. Yeah.
Well, what's a session without a little bit of gel plating? Now look at that.
And murdery
wonderful.
red things. Yeah.
Murdery red, yeah.
I like it. The bob wires have been popular again. And I can tell that people are gearing up for Halloween things, because certain Halloween things have been getting purchased, and that's cool. And I think even Christmas stuff, which is sort of mind-blowing to me, but awesome.
I'm just bringing these back so you can kind of see what's
how they're
happening.
Progressing.
Because it's so different when it dries.
Exactly, Eddie, exactly.
And these little swishy marks and whatnot, I can deal with that with with more paint and colored pencils. I like this little wad of rocks down here. Look at that nice stuff going on there.
Mm-hmm.
I really do like I've never used the
Sugar.
the oil pastels.
Yeah, that's adding an interesting texture to it.
It is. I wonder if you can do it afterwards.
Well, of course you could. Mazzy. Hey. She's licking your plate.
Well, I think I ate most of it.
Hi.
You know, keeping in mind the texture on that one rock. Just, you know, because this is not going to go anywhere. And I'm kind of digging around here and dealing with, see those salt crystals there?
Uh-huh. Actual texture.
Yeah, actual texture. Scooting those boogers out of there. I really don't think they did all that much anyway. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, they're big clumps. I don't know, there's something wasn't still a little wet there. It's all right. Okay, well, I like that.
Yeah. So this is just an oil pastel.
It's just, this is from the ones I got in Baltimore. I always use the white up. I end up using the white up in every single oil pastel. Boy, I'll tell you what, they got this
You want me to get it?
paper on here like a
Fort Knox?
tied as Dick's hat band. That's what Carmichael used to say.
I don't know, Dick. I don't know that about
Well,
his hat band.
yeah. All right. Well, it either all comes off or not at all. And that's the way it goes. Money then goes.
Oh, goodness.
A little poker.
Are we gonna make a small stamp out of the bay?
A small what?
I don't know, Wendy. I need more info. Yep, that's what she said.
This is really a nice oil pastel. I mean, you can really squish it down in there and just smush
I've
it.
noticed you've been giving these a lot of love.
I like them. Now, I don't want to go too much over there because I know that's where the shadow is going to be. The shadow is going to be there from the other rock, and then you've got two layers of shadows here. You've got the shadow layer here and the shadow layer here. Yeah.
That makes more sense, Wendy. Thank you. And then Darcy said it too, but that didn't make sense. Okay. Yep. Yes. It has been requested.
What?
The bat stamp.
The bat stamp, yeah.
Do you think it should be the same size as the little bat stencil?
I do.
Or should it be slightly bigger?
I think maybe slightly bigger, but not a lot.
Right. In between what the ATC
Yes.
stencil and this stencil, the stamp should be about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I think. Now, I don't really like that line there. I'm going to see if I can scratch that off.
So, here, hand me the little paper, if you would. No, not the bat. The paper to the pastel. Thank you.
I don't want that white there. I want to be able to come in with something and color that in because it looks dippy.
She ripped off the actual... I mean, they have a little logo on here, but that's beyond my eyeballs at this moment in time in my life. I think even with my glasses on, that would still be... Oh, so they're... Let me see if I can find them. 1 second. Uno momento, por favor.
What? What are you looking for?
That brand.
Oh, yeah. This is watercolor pencil.
That baby's coughing. Did you hear him?
Yeah.
Do I have this spelled right? Louvr. Well, folks, unfortunately, I do not see them on the Amazon.
And the thing about it is it may be something that was discontinued or something, and is the reason that.
Oh, here they are. So, yeah, looks like, because you can see them on eBay.
Okay, this is Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer.
There's an art studio shop in Canada that carries them. Well, I'll put the hold on here.
So I like this color.
I don't know what that is.
That area is just a little bit too wet.
Yeah, so
I'm going to just see if this would work.
here's the name of them.
Because see, I want that to change from the background. Oh, look at that. It'll color, these will color over the top of the...
Yeah, I didn't see them on there, Sandra. I mean, if y'all want to do a little investigating, then let me know. But right off the, just the kind of top level search, I wasn't able to find it other than it listed on eBay. And usually when you see stuff on eBay, that's a fairly decent indicator that it's something that isn't being sold retail much anymore. Not always the case, but something I've noticed. Now, which ones are these? These are the Derwent.
I'm just picking them. I've used the Faber-Castell and the other one
Okay,
too.
she's mixing and matching.
I'm mixing and matching.
It's mixed media, y'all.
Yeah, I'm going to try this here on this edge here to get my edge back on my rock, because this is always the problem. You come in and that may require some coming in with what you call that stuff, texture gesso.
Yeah, because you don't have a lot of, it's all smoothed out.
It's ooked out. It's no longer even doing anything. And part of the problem is the surface of the rock. This is kind of a squared off edge here. I really don't like that. That was really...
There you go.
A little more organic edge to it, and I think we can just fill that in and
yeah,
that looks
better.
a lot better.
Oh, nice, Isabel. Very nice.
What is that? How can that line up with that one? exactly what I did on my other one till it just got to the point where I liked it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just kept drawing lines.
Yep.
Blending things, doing things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, you'll probably keep it this one for a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And maybe what's your thoughts on Sunday? And I think we need to start a Halloween book, but
Oh yeah. Well, you
kinda-
know, I'm up for that. We'll show our old Halloween books too.
yes, and maybe I'll have more of the Halloween stuff ready by then. A few other things. So yeah. Oh, that's cool. Okay. It's a Belgian brand. Now this particular one says made in China. FYI.
Well, I think just about everything is.
Well, I think the Belgians can make their own stuff. I mean, I could be wrong. But yeah. Alright guys, well, we'll see you back here on Sunday. Thanks so much for hanging out. If you've come in, this is the end.
The
Come
end.
back. Watch the, start,
Yeah,
whole thing in the
hopefully
replay.
the
And,
replay will be there.
she just needs to. She just thinks it's real funny.
Sam's Club.
Real funny. Real funny. Okay, guys. We'll see you back here on Sunday. Bye.
Bye.